Part 1. The Endless Flood, a crisis beyond just the weather. The Philippines is a country shaped by water, surrounded by seas, and crisscrossed by mighty rivers. Every year the monsoon rains come, an expected force that brings life, but also carries the threat of destruction. For millions in low-lying areas, the rainy season brings a familiar fear. Flooding isn't a question of if, but when. Billions of pesos are set aside by the government each year for flood control projects, which should be a shield for vulnerable communities. Engineering solutions designed to tame the water, protect lives, protect homes, protect livelihoods. Dikes are built, rivers are cleared, pumping stations are put in place, all with the promise of a safer future. But that promise often goes unfulfilled, washed away by the very floods they were meant to prevent. Part 2. The plan to fail, how a project's funds start to run dry. A flood control project officially begins with a noble goal. A government agency, often the Department of Public Works and Highways, or a local government unit, identifies a community at risk. Engineers are sent to survey the land, study the water flow, and design a solution. This could be a tall dike to hold back the river, a series of canals to redirect the flow, or a powerful pumping station to drain floodwater from the city. Then a budget is prepared and approved, representing a large public investment. This initial stage seems orderly and scientific, driven by data, engineering principles, and a clear goal to protect citizens. Once the plan and budget are set, the project is put out for public bidding. This is a critical point where the first cracks in the system can appear. In theory, bidding ensures fair competition and the best value, choosing the most qualified at a reasonable price. However, this is where the flow of money can go astray, manipulated to favor a pre-selected, connected contractor. Part 3. Following the money trail, a path paved with red flags. As we follow the money from the treasury to the project site, warning signs pop up. One of the most common signs is rigged bidding. Instead of healthy competition, only one bidder shows up, or a small, united group. Often, this isn't an accident. It's a conspiracy. Sometimes people inside the agency are in on it, making sure the chosen company wins. The lack of real competition drives up the price, guaranteeing a profit from which kickbacks are taken. Another warning sign: big and suspicious changes during the project. A project is approved with one budget. Then it balloons through change orders. Some changes are real, but frequent and large increases are suspicious. This is called contract padding, often justified by weak documents and approved by officials who benefit, inflating the final cost of the project. Quality gives an important clue. Lower quality steel, weaker cement, smaller sizes, which weakens structures compared to the original design. When we look at a flood control project that never got done, we see a complicated web of people. At the top, there are government officials from agencies like DPWH and local governments. They are the ones who approve budgets, give out contracts, and allow payments. Even though many of them are honest, a corrupt manager might ask for SOP, percentages, to make sure a company wins, and it can easily get through the red tape. Next, contractors and hidden partners. Paper contractors, companies that only exist on paper, and powerful backers. They win even without the ability, hiring others to do the work cheaply and pocketing the extra money. Many layers of fake companies, quiet political partners, to hide the real beneficiaries. The helpers create studies that fit what they want, inflated estimates, and rigged inspections, which gives it a fake look of being legitimate. The effects of corruption in the system can be seen in the ruined places and in the lives of people who lost their homes. The COA, or Commission on Audit, warned about millions of pesos paid to dig up the same part of the river year after year. Residents said no digging happened, or if it did, it was so shallow that the mud quickly returned to the river in just a few months. Money was spent, reports were submitted, but the river stayed blocked, and communities were still vulnerable to floods, just like before. A 1 billion peso dike in central Luzon became a symbol of a very expensive failure, built to protect vast agricultural plains, but it had big cracks just after it was finished. Investigations showed poor quality materials, badly packed soil and rocks, a leaky barrier just waiting to fall apart. Funds for good quality soil and engineering were supposedly diverted. The cost was paid by thousands who lost their crops and homes. In cities, expensive new pumps didn't work during heavy floods. Wrong specifications, poor maintenance, or never fully working. Money spent, contracts paid, security that was fake. Families are evacuating as streets turn into rivers. Across the map, the patterns repeat. Unfinished seawalls in Visayas. Faulty canals in Mindanao. Funds allocated, contracts awarded, protection failed. Billions wasted. The people bear the true cost. Rebuilding lives, interrupted schooling, long-term displacement, because the money meant for their future simply vanished along the way. Following public money is like being in a maze with no way out. The unclear ways of the government are the main problem. Even though government offices need to be open about things, it's hard to see the detailed budget, the payment slips, and the inspection reports. Requests often get delayed, turn into missing papers, or are just denied. A cloud that hides bad things from the public and even from the people who check the books. Corrupt people use networks of fake companies to get bids for projects. They have no assets, no history. They only exist on paper with fake owners. Payments are quickly moved to many accounts and businesses, making the money trail messy. This shell game hides the real people who benefit: politicians and powerful individuals. Strict bank secrecy protects deposits, and opening accounts needs a long court order. Without these, investigators can't see where the money really goes, allowing illegal payments to flow freely and covering up the evidence. A culture of fear keeps insiders quiet, engineers and workers, putting their jobs, their reputation, and their safety at risk. Without legal protection and protection for witnesses, testimony disappears, cases fall apart, and the system gets ready for the next project. The repeated failures show a problem with the whole system, one that needs a response from the system itself, focused on crushing corruption. Hopefully someone, a brave leader, will step up in the future to do this. First, make everything completely transparent. All documents should be uploaded to a public website in real time, so thousands of eyes can check them. Let the truth shine brightly. Change how bidding works to make sure there's real competition. Enforce rules against single bidders and investigate those who win again and again. Use strong digital checks for financial health, equipment, and past work. Blacklist those who work together to cheat and those who always fail. Make independent inspections stronger, do surprise checks, get materials tested by approved labs, and verify completed work before paying. Give the COA, or Commission on Audit, the power to stop payments and start legal action. Create fast-track courts so cases lead to charges, convictions, and the return of stolen money. Protect and reward whistleblowers to break the code of silence. When the risks are high and the bad outcomes are serious, the way corruption is thought about changes. By following the money and making people responsible every step of the way, funds can build strong communities, not just fill the pockets of corrupt politicians, government sharks and their felons who feed on the hard-earned money of Filipino people. This is Glenn's project. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and hit that notification button for more videos like this. Stay with me and I will take on the current happenings in our motherland, the Philippines. Thank you for watching. See you in the next videos.